Good day. So we are on day 3, and I don't think anybody's on here yet, and I'm not expecting anybody to jump on because they didn't know that my live stuff was working yet. But um, we are able to go live now on YouTube. They finally approved me for that. My plan is to do this at 11 o'clock every day. If things that he's at work right now, and I'm here with my 2 boys by myself. So I don't know if you can hear, but they're watching Bluey right now, which is such a cute show. I know it's probably a little too young for you guys, but it's so cute. We love that show. So it's on right now. If you can hear it in the background, I apologize. You might hear Brantley probably screaming every so often. Hey, Jonathan, I'm glad you're here watching, bud. Um, but you might hear Brantley. Grayson probably will stick his head in here a while as well. But hopefully this video will save. I've never done a live show before, so hopefully it'll save and then you guys can watch it back later. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your day 3 assignment because I've already had a couple really good questions. The first I already had this morning, and I'm going to kind of remind you. You probably hear Grayson, let Dixie in. You probably can hear my dog. She's jumping at the back door right now. But on parallelograms, and we talked about this, and I'm going to remind you of a couple things. So on like a parallelogram, because there's an angles question on your homework, I want you to remember that opposite angles, so like here and here, opposite angles are equal, okay? And then here and here, these opposite angles are equal. And then if you remember the word adjacent, you probably, Gray, try and be quiet, buddy. You probably remember me talking about how Jason Shattuck is right next door to us. So the word adjacent kind of sounds like Jason. And so that's how I always remember that adjacent angles are next to each other. So opposite angles are here or here, the ones that are diagonal. Adjacent angles are the ones that are right next to each other, okay? And adjacent angles add up to 180 degrees. So if I know that this angle right here is 97 degrees, I can do 180 minus 97. And then there are a couple questions on there about identifying figures, and there's questions where you have to fill in a blank, like comparing a rhombus to a square. If you brought your notes home with you, if you remember that like foldable thing we did with all the different quadrilaterals on it, that will be helpful for filling in those blanks. And then the other thing is, as far as perimeter and area, remember perimeter is the distance around the outside of the shape, and then area is the distance on the inside of the shape. So a parallelogram, I know I talked about this yesterday in my video, but a parallelogram is base times height, okay? And then if I have a parallelogram like this, okay, and I cut it in half, right here, it's a really bad line, but if I cut it in half, what I have are triangles now. So the parallelogram, if I cut it in half, is a triangle, and that's why the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times 2. And again, this is stuff you saw yesterday, so if you did yesterday's assignment, you've seen this already. But you add the 2 bases together, which are the top and the bottom, those parallel sides, multiply it by the height, and then take 1/2 of that, okay? So everything today should not take you very long. It's a much shorter assignment, and triangles and trapezoids, I think. But I am still going to try and check in with you guys every day. I've got all of next week planned. And like I told you yesterday, I've shortened the assignments a lot because I realize now that they're taking you guys much longer than I was expecting, and I don't want that to happen. So hopefully you guys can watch this afterwards. Who else is in here right now? It says 2 people are watching. I know Jonathan's watching. Can you comment on the chat thing? I can